Hey, yo, this is another video, so let's go. I don't want to drag anything out. I want to get right to the point. Okay, with O.J. Simpson, as you see, the name of the title of this video is dealing with the ritual killing of O.J. Simpson, and also with Johnny Cockhran, too. Also, come to find out, both guys had died with a cancer. Was cancer related. Both of them has died of cancer related deaths. Johnny Cockhran he had a brain tumor, and O.J. Simpson had colon cancer. And the reason why I know it's a ritual, because of the way how O.J. Simpson died and the day he died. Remember, you go into these doctors, they can, or any kind of physicians, they have to do certain things. They have a oath they have to take too also. So you have to be very careful, or the people that you're around, because certain things can be put inside your system and you don't really understand or know why. So let me get right into the meat and potatoes of it, man. Get you full, man, on this. So, all right. So, all right, there's this movie called Capricorn One. The synopsis or the summary of the movie is about 3 astronauts that was going to Mars by they were getting sent there by NASA. And so this is to show you certain things they put in movies. It happens, and they do it like they do it in real life. And the funny thing is about this this video, I knew the day it happened, the day O.J. Simpson happened. I remember, and this is months prior from the day it happened, and I knew I wanted to do this video, and I just been very doing a lot of spiritual things. But the day I found out it happened, I was in the middle of something spiritual because of the actual day what it was. So that's how I remember and know 222 just passed. Ashe. Okay, so the movie I was talking about before, Capricorn One, they sent up 3 astronauts, but there was like a malfunction or a failure on the actual ship or rocket ship they were going to send them out to. So what they did was they actually filmed them in a studio. You know, this sounds very similar to like the whole moon landing, right? Where everybody thinking it's a farce or something fake or fugazi that was put together. But and most of those people that were sent out or supposedly sent out, they've been getting killed like just getting knocked off back to back, right? So if you watch the movie, it's a movie called Capricorn One. It came out in 1977. So it was filmed in 1977. So, and in the movie, I really don't want to give it away, but I'm not. It's like it's just gonna intrigue you to go watch the movie and see like the certain nuances. I remember the teacher Bobby Hemmitt. He had brought it up in one of his lectures about the whole Capricorn. A couple of lectures in the past. Bobby Hemmitt always wanted to bring him up like because there's information that was provided to me in order for me to get this information out. So I like giving sources, so that it's like a path or a trail you can go. It's not, and plus I'm not saying this is all brought on by me. My ancestors brought this to me, and I knew I wanted to shoot a video for it, but I'm gonna do it. I'm doing it now. So Capricorn One, they had staged, they had shot the whole landing on Mars inside of a studio. So, and then they had sent the guys out in the desert somewhere. They was thinking like, okay, like what's going on? So they ended up doing was sent them out like sheep or cattle, or whatever, to get them killed, like they did in real life, killing off the astronauts because they don't want them to talk. Like they always say, dead people don't talk. But if they have souls, they'll be able to come to you. So everything is spiritually based. We just used to seeing everything in the physical, when like the eyes can tell you a lie. So, but you always, if your first eye not your third eye, because your first eye was already formulated before your two physical eyes. So some people say the third eye, but you just know what they mean. But another inner or another understanding of it is like the inner earth or under the earth is to dig, go inside. Everybody want to say it's I overstand or anything like that, but it could be something under the ground. You can travel under the ground without being seen. Okay, so which is hidden, the occult realm. Not a cult, a actual cult of somebody following somebody, but a cult as in OCCULT. It means that which is hidden. Okay, so the astronauts they were sent out. They were having them out in the desert. But the thing is, NASA said, we got to kill these guys. We don't want them to talk and say it was a staged event, because we want to keep the people thinking we actually went to Mars. So I did some actual digging, because I remember, I would never forget it, because I was actually doing something spiritual on that day of April the 10th. April the 8th, it was we had a solar eclipse on April the 8th. On April the 10th, that was the day that Mars and Saturn was aligned. Okay, so on those 2 days, Mars on that day, Mars, it was two astrological or astronomy or astrological things that were occurring. So things that's happening out in the space is actually happening to you on the inside of you. So okay, so the movie is called Capricorn One, and those astronauts that they had sent out, they was killing them one by one. They had figured out, they said, hey, we're gonna have to split up, guys. If they're gonna try to kill us, we're gonna each one of us take a flare gun. So we're gonna be able to communicate by the flare gun. So we'll know if anybody gets killed or is gonna get killed, or you're about to get captured. Shoot your flare gun off, so we'll know that that you've been captured or killed. So that way we'll know which direction they're in while they're trying, when they got you or killed you, and we'll know to go the opposite direction and keep going that way. All right, so come to find out, Capricorn is actually connected to Saturn. Okay, like I said, on April the 10th, Capricorn and Mars was aligned on that day. And where did they? The movie Capricorn One is everything. Life is a ritual. Like everything you do in your life, you do. Wake up. I'm gonna drink me some coffee, brush my teeth, take the kids to school, go get something for me for breakfast or whatever it is your ritual is. Whatever, certain people do certain things differently. Everything is based on ritual, because if you don't do certain things, you feel kind of off throughout the day. All right, so there's nothing wrong with ritual. Everybody does it. Even the church does rituals. First Sundays, they what you do is eating off the body of the so-called Christ. Even eating of the body, and you're drinking your blood. You're drinking like a juice. They used to give wine, but they changed that. They took that away. But it's actually like a grape juice now. They give people. So so you pretty much eating off of the body of the Christ, or just like it's like the same thing that happened with it's coming to me. The same thing that happened to Prometheus. When Zeus got mad, they bound him up to a stone and had a buzzard or it was a buzzard or a vulture eating from his liver. And so there's a deitess or a deity, a female deity named Erkidna. But Erkidna means what? The kidneys. So that in the buzzard or the vulture was eaten from Prometheus's liver. So let me go back to what was going on with the ritual with O.J. Simpson. So with O.J. Simpson, he was in a movie. All those three astronauts, they shot off the flare guns. All the first one off. It was two Caucasian or white guys. The first guy was a white guy. The second one was O.J. Simpson, and the other guy, I can't remember if he got captured. He knew it was coming. It was towards the end of the movie that all that was going on, and I don't remember precisely. But go watch the film yourself, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So just like in real life, they were killing off all those astronauts because they don't want them to talk. Like they say, dead people can't talk. So, unless you're on the spiritual realm, like I said before, you know, you can those things, they can come to you, and they can be prevalent, and they can show you certain things. So, on the day of the 10th, April the 10th was the day O.J. Simpson died. I was doing something that day, and I'll never forget it because I was doing something because of that day of Mars and Saturn being aligned. So, on that day, O.J. Simpson was killed. So, in that movie, Capricorn is related to Saturn, and they had supposedly sent them to where? Mars. This is why this is happening that way. You go to a physician, they can put certain things in your body. It's the same thing that happened with Eazy-E. They supposedly I found out supposedly that Eazy-E was sent to a doctor that was that Dr. Dre had went to. Remember, Dr. Dre was getting Eazy-E was getting paid by the song Dr. Dre had made about him, a diss song. I mean, he said, Dre Day is Eazy's payday. Same situation. They sent him to the same doctor that he went to the same doctor that Dr. Dre had went to. Even if when you're at war, things have to change. A lot of things have to change when you're at war. A lot of your certain things you do throughout the day have to change. Or you have to be mindful of what's going on around you to change them. If not, you'll become a victim of war, of not thinking that these things can happen. They could have paid that doctor off to have him killed. So the same thing was going on. What could have been going on with OJ. You know, you're going to a certain doctor. They know what doctor you're going to. You're in a file. You're in a system that keeps track of people who's going to certain doctors. It gets logged in the system. The paperwork, all that gets filed. They have people that do paperwork in the medical field. They get paid to do paperwork. That's their job, to get paid to keep track of paperwork. So now, on that day, it's not a coincidence. It's not me reaching or anything. You have to be when certain things like this happen. This is how you can catch the ritual happening before it happens or after it happens. So like you got to think about it like this. Brittany Murphy, she was in like one of her last films. She died in a bathtub in one of her films. And where did she die in her real life? An actual bathtub. And her so-called husband or manager ended up dying the same way because, like they say, if you can't handle it, you'll get they'll find I feel like this person might talk, they'll get rid of you too. Same situation. And the funny thing is about this, I actually it was in the back of my mind. I really wasn't even thinking about it to actually do this video, but by Stephen A. Smith being who he is and saying certain things he said, it actually reminded me because Stephen A. Smith is like a sports analyst. You know, of course, like the whole thing with the certain things that O.J. Simpson was doing. He was a sports analyst. He played in sports. He played in sports, and he was in the movies. So it was brought up after distractions. I had to pause the video. Distractions. All I say is that. So, where was I at? Yeah, like Brittany Murphy. In order for you to catch these rituals, you gotta be able to. You can actually catch it before it happens sometimes, or you'll catch it after it, and you got to piece certain things together. So that's why, like with because you got to think about it. This is also like it's like a mythology. If you're in certain movies or music, when you do certain things like in that movie, it can be used against you in certain films. So you have to having certain strength in your magic for these certain things not to even happen to you, or like certain people they have to listen to what they want you to do. Like if you don't do that, they'll actually come and do the same thing that you actually ended up dying in a film. It's another person, the guy that I just remembered it now. The guy that played on it was a movie called Designing Women, based in Savannah, Georgia. And it was like I think like 3 or 4 women. They were designers of home designers or something like that. And in the movie, that is a black guy that they all worked together. It was like 4 or 5 females, or 3 or 4 females working together. And it was a black male. I used to watch the show when I was a kid. I remember seeing it as a kid. And the guy, he was actually in a film. He actually died the same way he died in actual movie. Mind you, Designing Women is a TV show, right? It can be done the same way, you know. So it can be done the same way. So, but in the film he was in was actually called what was it? Omen 2. I just remembered Omen 2. Omen 2. The guy that was, I don't remember the guy's name. The way he died in Omen 2 was like he was in an elevator, and the thing is, the elevator, something happened to the elevator to where he had ended up dying in the elevator. To what had happened, the way he died in real life, he had like I think he had pancreatic cancer, or some kind of cancer in his stomach area. And the way he died in that movie, Omen 2, is his torso was cut into a piece. So all he had his top half of his body, and his lower half was separated from each other. If I'm not mistaken, I feel like if I remember right, it's Omen 2. And in real life, he died from pancreatic cancer. The pancreas is right at the lower, like colon cancer, is close to where the lower area is. So they'll use the way you die in certain films against you. That's why, cannot think of his name right now. It's an actor. He played in Up In Harlem and Black Caesar and a bunch of other films in the 70s and 80s too also. I'm gonna get you, if I'm not, can't think of his name right now. But I just remembered Fred Williamson. Fred Williamson. I was drawing a blank for real. I had to pause the video and think. Fred Williamson. One of his things he doesn't like in the movies, and that's why I know it's real too. He doesn't like in his movies that you can't. He said in any of his movies you can't kill him. You cannot kill him in none of his movies. He's a genius, because he realizes that that being in these movies is like a mythology that can transpire in your real life. He played football too. You know, he's an actor. You know, he's been on television just like OJ. All these things have occurred, but he's still living. He's like in his 80s, if I'm mistaken, or in his 90s, one of the two. But like he's a director too, also of films. So that's why I say Fred Williamson is a genius, because he knows what mythology in film or acting can be portrayed. They can use that against you in your real life. And why he said you can never kill me in movies. And I remember Bobby Hemmitt. Bobby Hemmitt had brought up in one of his lectures. They told, what was it? Starsky and Hutch. He was in that film. I never got to see that film, the remake. He was like, we want to shoot you in your ass with a gun, like the same way that Denzel Washington got shot in Training Day. I know he got shot in his ass. Same thing is like they shoot you there, or what they do in the medical field. They give a lot of white people, they give them medicine when they have pancreatic cancer or colon cancer. But black people, what they do is they snip. When they snip you, or they cut between that area, you can't get hard again. So when you can't get hard again, you can't. That's energies, the collars, and that's the Shakti. Where the Shakti is the fire, or the sexual energy, or the energy they call in Hinduism, in India. So it's all a part of you having sex and making the energy rise. So that's why they'll give white people actual medicine, but you have to know what you're dealing with before you go. Don't let them just snip down there, because you can't even rise to the occasion or get erect, I'll say. So that's why things like this, like I brought up in this whole video, is about O.J. Simpson and the ritual killing of O.J. Simpson. I'm grateful to my ancestors for showing me this. I knew on the day of it happening, I was very busy, and I've been busy since. But I'm like doing a lot of spiritual things, and so I'm just great, because in Stephen A. Smith's ignorance, I was able to remember to actually make this video, and shout out to Faizon Love for actually saying something about what Stephen A. Smith has said. Even through his ignorance, I was able to remember. So like it's a smear campaign. Like if they'll raise up an artist, a musician or actor. You know, they'll put you on TV. They'll glorify you, bring you up to your highest esteem, and then there's going to be something they'll do, or they put a person they put around you to get you to lower your status among the people, so that you can't be venerated or used as a deity or a so-called God. You know, so I use the word deity. So they'll do that. So like you can't be as powerful once you leave out of your physical body, or while you're still in your physical body. That means they'll have more power to give it to you, like they say in the Bible. He give it and they take it away. So that's why religion is fucked up. It's a political based system. Religion is. Before it was a religion, giving your allegiance to something. Your allegiance or your daimons, that means your higher self. You know what I'm saying? Or your demons is your higher self. So they'll do that in order for what? To lower who you are. Because OJ, he was everywhere in movies, on the football field, and on TV. That means people remember you. But when they start to tear you down towards the end of your career, they'll start to talk about you bad, or put you on extra ET, and say he was on drugs, or she was on drugs, or certain people, or this person was doing this and that. And while they were doing that, what they're doing is lowering your esteem, or you're lowering your star power. So they can't come to you, because that when you out of your physical body, you can't come to this realm on a high level, because people look at, oh, I don't want to listen to their music because they did this, or I don't want to listen, or I don't want to watch their movie because of this. Certain things is important. So I don't want to go on like a tangent too much and lose people, you know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to shoot this video because all the time they've been killing our people for years and years and years, whether it be about hangings or burnings, or they'll hang us and burn us at the same time, or cutting up our woman, the highly melanated woman, or so-called black woman's stomach while she was pregnant, and splitting her legs apart, and the baby will fall out and they'll stomp on the baby. These are certain things that have happened. And so like once he really didn't even do it. But to have in your mind that he killed someone that didn't look like us is quite powerful. It's almost like a Nat Turner situation. So you know, I don't care how bad it sounds, it's the truth. They've been doing it for years. We'll kill each other but we won't kill the people that killed our ancestors, or people that look like us, because we have their mindset. That we'll kill people in our neighborhood because they're close to us, but won't go in their neighborhood and go steal and kill them. It's a mind state already. Or we're quick to say, oh, we're not afraid of them. Yeah, that's a lie, because it'd be by the droves or masses that we'll kill other people in other communities, because they'll come in our communities and sell us, have convenience stores because they come from another country, and we won't do anything to them unless it was the Rodney King riot. That happened. That happened back then. They were taken from Koreans and all these different, anybody, white people on the street, anybody, they would handle their business. But it comes to that in the mind first, in the mind. So like if you're killing your own people, or it's supposed to happen that way, because spiritually something's gonna occur. That's why you're gonna have certain people trying to get certain people together. So like the less, I'm gonna say it like this: it's gonna happen regardless. The less highly melanated people you have, the more stronger you're gonna have those deities or energies go into the people that's left in highly melanated people. That's what I'm gonna leave it at. That's where I'm gonna leave this video right there. Like Jimi Hendrix said, there. I'll leave it right there. So, kill God. God doesn't love highly melanated people. He only uses us for our Amrita. What's that? What's that? An elixir. That's melanin. I made a video on that, so I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm just gonna leave it there. Kill God daily, because God doesn't love highly melanated people. Nagas. And we are the snake people, the Nagas, the niggas. Ashe. Ashe. Ashe.